checked their pH with another pH meter.
I started working with liberal studies about 2.5 years ago, and I started looking at some of the things that we might do for certain special groups of our students. And the group that was first of interest was the middle school concentrators in math and science. I wanted to bring together some practicing teachers and some pre-service teachers in kind of what I like to call academically intergenerational project. And in that respect, it's really been exciting.
The teachers here this week are participating in a program called the Chesapeake Bay Academy. And this is an opportunity for pre-service and in-service teachers to come to a location and learn how to take their students outside, to learn about Virginia's environment, how to collect information that's relevant to the science courses that they are taking.
I think it's especially good for the pre-service teachers at Longwood to have as many contacts with the practicing teachers as they can. You know, we send them out on a practicum, their student teaching and all. Here they're actually in a situation where they're doing research together with practicing teachers and can see the actual joys and pleasures of the discipline. Part of it is putting them on equal footing and letting them feel what it's like to be together with the practicing teachers. For teaching in general, I think what we get here that you can't get in a class on campus is the actual experience of doing and seeing and tasting and smelling and understanding person to nature.
We went into Warsaw, and the students were there on what we call place as text explorations. And place as text is a pedagogical approach. Students intentionally explore an area, reading that place as one would a book.
We've divided them into a bunch of different groups, and they are exploring the town. They've all gone in different directions. So they've been instructed to kind of get a sense of the area and talk to the locals about what it's like to live here and how it changes at different points of time in the year.
Talking with local people, trying to gain an understanding of a community and what the place means and how the place affects their daily lives.
We were making some observations about the water quality of the two creeks that feed from Whole Springs Farm into the Chesapeake Bay. We looked at things like temperature, dissolved oxygen, pH, salinity, turbidity, nitrates and phosphates, and trying to draw some conclusions from the data. And it was really just an exercise in getting the students comfortable with what water quality parameters are and how you might go about measuring them with methods that are easy and relatively inexpensive. We're trying to give everybody in the class a taste of something that they may not have had before, so most of them haven't really considered the issues that we're talking about with regard to the Bay. But we're also trying to perhaps brush up on some things that they've learned in their coursework up until now, and that sort of serves as a refresher for the in-service teachers.
The students involved in SOLstice were out. We had them out sampling the living shoreline at Whole Springs Farm, and that involved them using a variety of standard techniques that are used to sample aquatic communities, the animals that live in water. So the throw trapping that they were doing is a technique that's often used in shallow waters to sample animals that live in shallow waters, and on the inside of the living shoreline is that grass marsh. And by using that throw trap, they can sample the animals that live in that marsh. We also had them do seining, which usually is a technique used out in deeper water, and to sample fish that are on the outside of the living shoreline. The students got to see what fish were actually in the water, and we categorized them, and then we actually looked at the data that we collected from the actual sampling that took place during the actual research on that project. By exploring these techniques and seeing how the data is actually collected, I think they have a better appreciation that they can take to their classrooms in the future of how science works.
My expectations were to do some hands-on projects to maybe be able to take back to my classroom. But I knew it was also connected with pre-service teachers, and so I knew that there was going to be a connection between what the students were learning and trying to learn about using in their own classrooms and what maybe practicing teachers were already doing.
I have always loved the water, and I was looking for an opportunity to find ways to connect this region in particular and this watershed to my students who live in Charlottesville, who are far away, relatively speaking. So how can I connect them to this region that's so beautiful and so important that they don't see that often?
Being with the students, the college students, it gives me kind of an appreciation for what I need to maybe get my own students prepared for as far as their entry into college, but also it makes me appreciate the level of learning that a college student can do, and maybe, like I say, trying to get some of the pieces in place for my middle school students to be able to do that.
And hopefully being able to convey to my students a picture, a whole picture, instead of just one aspect of it, just the biology of the critters or just the chemistry of it, but the whole region and how it works all together.
I expected to be sitting in lectures a lot, maybe sitting outside, maybe wading in the water and collecting something and going immediately inside to look at it. I did not expect to be sailing. While we are sailing, yeah, we're getting a lecture, so we're learning, but we aren't sitting down in a conference room talking. We're spending time outside. We are actively going out and getting to learn and have fun and hang out here at this beautiful place. I love it.
It just seemed like a really great opportunity, since I'm not quite sure if I want to teach middle school or high school science yet. It seemed like a great opportunity to learn more about the Chesapeake Bay, because I didn't really know a lot about it. Oh, it's definitely met my expectations. This is a wonderful area to be in. All the professors are amazing. The places we've been, the people we've talked to, they've all opened up not only a science sort of perspective for me, but also like talking to people and just finding out what people know.
I either want to be an elementary school teacher or a middle school teacher, and if I'm going to be a middle school teacher, I know I want to be science. Just a history of good science teachers versus bad science teachers, and I want to be a good science teacher. And so I figured this hands-on experience would really give me a good opportunity to see what that is like, and to be able to have that experience when I'm teaching, to go back and reflect on. Also practice for when I am a teacher, so I can see what are the kind of things that I can do with my students. I just expected going out and getting dirty in the water and testing and stuff. I was a little nervous because I thought that we would be out doing all this hardcore science stuff all day long. And we have been doing a lot of good science stuff, but it's been a lot more relatable and more of what I can feel like I can do, definitely, and more confidently.
I would tell them to talk to the students who were here this year.
Oh, do it, definitely. It's been a great experience. I've learned a lot already, and we're only halfway through the second week.
I definitely, if you're looking into teaching and you want to know more about the Bay, even this is specifically for teachers, but if they had it for people who weren't teachers, I would recommend it.
Well, first of all, it's absolutely beautiful out here. So being able to come out and be out in nature, like I said, hands-on experiences for me are very important and valuable in the way I learn. So having these opportunities is very important and valuable to me as well.